Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Jay here with a very late video, and I feel the need to apologize for how late this video is. This is the Halloween episode and it's already the middle of November. What can I say other than 2020 happened? I have 3 lovely pieces that I'm going to be reading for you today. However, since this video came so late, wait until after the outro for the special bonus recording. Stick around for that. I hope you all enjoy this video. Now, let's get spooky. The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. "Only this, and nothing more." Distinctly I remember it was in the black December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for that rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you." Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore?" This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see, then, what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Once here, I flung the shutter, when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mine of lord or lady perched above my chamber door, perched upon the bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou," I said, "art sure no craven, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore, tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marvelled this ungainly fowl, to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevance it bore. For he cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculpted bust above his chamber door, with such name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word did he outpour. Nothing further he uttered. Not a feather then he fluttered. Till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore of nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er she shall press, ah, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch! I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite, respite, and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh, quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aidenn in shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked, upstarting. "Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as token of that lie that soul had spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Town of Children, an original prose piece by Sharkray24. Dear traveler, just to the west of here is a town entirely composed of children. It is very dangerous, so I have compiled a list of rules for you to follow while there. Never acknowledge that the children there are different from average children. Do not bring your own children to this town. Do not stay in the grocery store for longer than 2 hours, and do not leave without purchasing anything. Do not enter the church. If you need directions, you can ask the local scout troop, but they may not point you in the way you want to go. It is safe to stay at the hotel for as many nights as you need to, but the walls are thin, and you may hear something you don't want to. If you see a woman in the hotel that looks like your mother, do not acknowledge her. Do not look her in the eye. Do not answer her. And above all, do not follow her to her room. Do not enter the church. The children like to play all kinds of games, fun games, and will invite you to play with them. Listen carefully to the rules and do not cheat. In the basement of the school there is an old workshop. Do not move the tools outside of the workshop. The school's theater is the most used part of the building. The children like performing, but may need a little help getting their lights set up. Help them. Make sure to practice proper ladder safety and avoid dropping or in any other way damaging the lighting equipment. And ignore the funny sounds that they make. Do not enter the church. Remember that the children are watching. Dodgeball is not a fun game. If you go during a holiday, participate in the festivities, and make sure you have plenty of candy on Halloween. Remember that the children are watching. Those adults you think you see are not real. Be careful what songs you sing. Remember that the children are listening. Do not enter the church. Kickball is a fun game. The twins like strawberry ice cream. Do not go out past bedtime. Do not look out your windows past bedtime. Keep your closet locked while you are not at the hotel. Bad words are for bad people. Do not enter the church. Do not look at the sky between lunchtime around noon and 2:34 p.m. That is not a car. Do not enter the church. Do not enter the church. Do not enter the church. Helltaker Secret Ending from the video game Helltaker. You find yourself surrounded by the void. Shades of darkness you never knew existed. You feel them rather than see them. Sight is no longer a concept. But then, you are suddenly sick with every illness known to man. But you are not dying. Death is no longer a concept either. You hear the buzzing. Thousands of flies swarm around you. Then, a cloying wave hits you. The sweet smell is overwhelming, unbearable. Yet over the years, you'll learn to love it.
What is it now? Wait, what? You, how did you? I simply can't believe you just did that. Have you really bought all that King of Hell crap? No, that simply can't be it. So why? Wait, I don't think I really want to know. Since we find ourselves stuck here for the foreseeable future, I think a proper introduction should be made. I have many names: the Sovereign of Pestilence, the Warden of Decay, the Mistress of Flies, the... Wait, where are my manners? I have a guest. I should make myself more presentable.
Here, I think you will find this form a little more comfortable to converse with. Where was I? Ah, yes. Also known as the Mistress of the Flies, the Queen Crimson. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Welcome to the Abyss. Make yourself at home. Here's an idea. I'll show you around my castle. I think you'll love what I did with the place. Why, yes, I've built it all myself. You'd be surprised what kind of stuff you can make from the very fabric of darkness. Abyssal exile makes you seek the weirdest hobbies. Hey, I just noticed you brought something with you. If I had known you could do that, I'd have asked for some sweets. Demons love sugar. This is the best day of my life. And that was the story of the Helltaker. Narrated for you by good old Beelzebub. Please forgive this little self-insert at the end. I know. It was supposed to be a story about the Helltaker, not me. But I just couldn't help myself. You may have questions, I assume. Had this really happened? Where is the Helltaker now? Maybe you are the Helltaker. You just forgot after all those years in the Abyss. Or maybe you don't even exist, and I'm just a poor old fly talking to herself. Oh, for the sake of the story, some questions are better left unanswered. Until next. The end. Hello, everybody, once again. Thank you all. I hope you enjoyed this lovely little, very rushed, last-minute, overdue production of Halloween 2020's dramatic reading video, done by yours truly. I do want to say that the Helltaker scene was initially going to be the entire epilogue with the secret ending, one-woman show style. But I was just like, it's already 2-3 weeks overdue. It's not a school assignment. What am I saying? I can upload these videos any time I want. 2-3 weeks after Halloween, I might as well just get the shorter version done, upload it, and then I can make a longer version sometime in the future. So who knows? Maybe one day. I do want to give a huge thank you to my girlfriend, Dragon Artist 3, for the amazingly spooky art of Moxie for the thumbnail, as well as the fantastic dramatic reading Halloween Moxie that should be on screen right now, and it was on screen during the Town of Children. Yes. I do hope you all have a spectacular Halloween if you're watching this on a different Halloween other than 2020. And if you're getting ready for the holiday season, happy holidays. But for now, we're going to pretend like it's October 31st, 2020, because that's when this video was supposed to go up. But 2020, was 2020. Anyway, have a very scary night. And don't forget to stick around for the bonus reading. Bye-bye. Hey, said Shadow. Hugin or Mugen or whoever you are. The bird turned, head tipped suspiciously on one side, and it stared at him with bright eyes. Say nevermore, said Shadow. Fuck you! Said the raven. Only this, and nothing more.